Peace. I'm back. Back like I never left. Man, it's good in the hood. How does she know what a real man is if she don't have one? And she can't keep one. Just following up on my earlier live about relationships, about this feminism poison, feminism on steroids. How does she know? How does she know what a real man is? How do these feminists know what a real man is? They claim they ain't no real men. How do they know what a real man is if they don't got one? 1 2 1 2 test 1 2 back online. How do they know? How does she know? How do these boss chicks, these feminists know what a real man is? Since they saying it ain't no real men out here, or they seem to know the definition of a real man. How they know what a real man is if they don't got one? If they don't have one, or they can't keep one, if they ever had one and they wasn't able to keep them, how can they say that they know what a real man is? If you know what a real man is, are you qualified to have one? Because if you know what a real man is, why aren't you with one? Why haven't you done what's necessary to attract one or to keep one? Are they valuable? Are they priceless? You can tell these males that they not real ones. You're not a real man. You're not a real man. A real man would do this, and a real man would do this, and a real man does this. Okay, why haven't you attracted one? Why haven't you attracted a real man? If you know what they are, what they do, what they don't do, and you know that you're a real woman, you're a good woman, you're a real woman, you're a high value qualified woman, that a real man should see your value, because he's real, so he should see your value regardless of how you look, regardless of how you sound, regardless of your flaws, regardless of you being overweight, out of shape, bad attitude, baggage, whatever you might have. A real man should recognize you, right? Mr. Fuentes, 323, salute. Real man should recognize you, because you seem to know how to recognize real men and say which one of us ain't real men. Ben Garcia, trying more and more to be a real man so I can attract a real woman. That's just me. Well, kind of like the duty and the function of a real man, it ain't even really to attract a real woman. A real man is a mechanic. A real man makes a woman good. You lucky if you can attract a good woman, but the definition of a man is one that can make a woman. You know what I'm saying? Because how many virgins you gonna find? Yeah, that if you ain't finding no virgin, you ain't really finding no quote unquote good woman. She ain't pure, she ain't reserved, she ain't preserved for you. She already gave her virtual, she already gave her most private, whatever, away to somebody else before you. So that a good man is somebody that's willing to overlook that, and like a 6'4" Chevy, or like something that that been drove already. This is some original owner. Somebody else got their name on this. You know what I'm saying? A good man is a mechanic that's willing to restore something that he don't have to restore. He not bad if he don't. He could be good if he just like, I ain't messing with nothing but off the showroom floor virgin. If he a good man, he got every right to like, nah, let me just groom somebody that's fresh out of high school or something. How they did in the old days, a prearranged marriage or something. The real man don't want to be have some other dude and already popped the the little cherry on his wife. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about how a woman is supposed to have already valued and preserved herself and respected herself and not gave her virtue away to just some strange dudes or whatever, or in her little thought years in high school or college. So that's different. Men don't get penetrated. Men don't get gone up into. That's not the nature and the role of a man. That's the woman's role. So if a woman is going to preserve or maintain her value, she got to preserve that. Because don't no quality man, want or need or have to settle for a used car. I can afford a brand new car. I don't have to settle for used cars because I'm a good man, remember? If I'm a high quality man, I want a virgin. I can afford a virgin. I can pay for a virgin. I don't tolerate or settle for nothing less than a virgin. I can groom a virgin. I can afford to deal with more than one woman if I'm that good. That don't mean I'm sexual with them. I don't have to put all my eggs in one basket. I'm a good man. I'm a quality man. I'm a wise man that knows that he don't have to put all his eggs in one basket. So a real man is defined by who? Who defines what a real man is? A emotional woman, a dissatisfied, bitter woman. He's not real because he ain't doing what you want him to do. He's not real because he ain't giving you what you want. Got it. Ahmad, have you considered doing discussions or debates on Twitter Spaces? Nah, I'm not even up on Twitter Spaces. Maybe you can lace me. I don't even know what that is. I know it's Twitter, but I don't know what Twitter Spaces is. MT, I bought your book, Warren. I bought your Warren Your Heaven book a while back. Look forward to the new one. Yeah, the new one is Yellow Cow. Damn, what is it called? Golden Calf, Yellow Cow. And that's the light skin, the worship, it's like colorism. I forgot the subtitle, but it's basically our people, descendants, slaves, FBAs, DOS, that have taken on the yellow cow or the golden calf as a god of worship. We worship these light-skinned, golden-skinned, red-boned females as goddesses, sex goddesses. And we simps and we punks and we led around with our nose in the air following that little red bone box. So we worship that false god, and that false god worships herself. Such narcissism that she worships herself, and she encourages us to worship her, and not just her, but this system, this enemy that knows that he done watered our blood down and produced these mulattoes or these light skinned, these yellow golden cows. Not bull. It didn't say bull, it said yellow cows. So that's all symbolic language for the god that we started worshiping, which was the sex god, the light-skinned descendant of slave female sex goddess. So we all are poisoned with this colorism, especially if we black, and I don't want to go too far on that, but a lot of the black males, that the standard of beauty that we grew up watching on TV and magazines and movies was always, Missy Ann was always the European woman. So we know once we got black conscious that we won't look right if we get with one of them. So we got to find the next best thing. So we can't get with one of them. So we got to get with a black one that's so light skinned that it reminds you of being with one of them, and that's the way we justify our worship. I really want to be with the snow bunny, but I'll look too bad. I'll look like a sellout. So let me just find all these little hot yellow red bone, get my little colorism lust and worship on. So that's what that's about. But it's definitely a difference in mentality. It's definitely a difference in mentality. If you look at all of the top rappers, I'm talking about female rappers, all of the top actresses, all of the top R&B singers, they're yellow cows. They're golden calves, yellow cows. They're put in front of us as the standard of beauty. If it can't be the European, it has to be the Beyonce. It has to be the Halle Berry. It has to be the Cardi B. All of them got to be lighter than this. You ain't seeing no just bomb, sexy, like dark-skinned sisters don't seem to make the sexiest woman alive cut. You know what I'm saying? Why is that? To us, at least. Because clearly, like the European billionaires and the European people of power and riches and wealth, they absolutely looking for the dark-skinned ones. They absolutely is looking for they know the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. But we have been Willie lynched, mentally Willie lynched and colorismed to where we worship that, that light bright. Ben Garcia, a real man, in my opinion, is that provider, mature protector, mature sacrifice individual like my grandfather. But that's, Ben, I believe you're a man, right? So that I don't think we have a problem. We got a clear definition of what we know a real man to be, but I'm talking about what women's definitions, what these modern women's definition of a real man is. They the ones that's pushing what a real man is and what a real man ain't. They the one that's shouting it from the mountaintop, but they don't have one. If real men exist, why don't you have one? If real men exist and you got a clear definition of what they are, if they was really real, then they would recognize you as the real woman that they needed, and you would have one. Why don't you have one? Have you ever had one? Why couldn't you keep him? Well, he was real, but then he cheated or he something. Okay, well then he wasn't real then, right? It's always gonna be his fault. It's always gonna be his fault, right? It's never the common denominator. It's always the exception to the rule, and then he flipped, and then he did. Oh, okay. Well, I bet you he didn't stop at you. I bet you he got somebody else, and you don't. I bet you didn't stop his flow or his show. Three Shades Black, because women just be talking using reverse psychology on the lames and simps. Real men ain't going for the BS and games they like to play. Absolutely. Real men don't like to play games, and real men don't even like too much talk. A real man gonna know that if you're a real woman, you recognize him already. You already recognize his value. So you trying to get on his program. Real man would never get on a woman's program, ever. A real man will never get on his woman's program, ever, unless her program is his program. Unless her program is his program, or her program complements or supports his program. She has to help him to help her, not the other way around. You know what I'm saying? He already gonna do it. He's already doing it. So the nature of a man is already to to restore and maintain and be a mechanic and fix a woman that's already been damaged. We ain't found, I ain't never, as far to my knowledge, I never been with a virgin. To my knowledge, I never been with a virgin, and I've been with hundreds and hundreds of the bombers and the baddest around the country, around the world. Never was blessed and fortunate enough to come across a virgin, so I can imagine now is even more scarce, more, fewer virgins on the planet. So a man already know, my role is a mechanic. If I want any, like, it ain't these new cars that they making today, these Teslas and these whatever 2024 is all fiberglass. It's all fiberglass. It's all temporary parts, plastic parts. It look good, but it ain't worth nothing. It breaks down immediately. It breaks down. It got all kind of maintenance problems. So intelligent men know, oh no, the best material is like them 1964, 65, 1960, them Chevys that's made out of real metal that ain't got no GPS or no satellite or no brain in it that's going to, wires going to get crossed and shut your whole car down, or somebody behind a computer desk to take over the wheel and run you off a cliff or something. Like, no, a real man going to go back to, the basics and like, let me just restore this classic. And now this classic 6.4 Chevy Rag or 662, 61, 57, we know these is the best. Let me just restore this. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be worth more than how much it costed when it was brand new in 1957. And it's going to be my signature on it. Yeah, technically it's a Chevy. Technically Chevy, Mr. Chevrolet opened her up already. Or whoever bought her, you know what I mean? But that's why this ain't my only car. You know what I'm saying? This is my show car. I know I ain't gonna like that one, boy. But you gotta keep it, you gotta be realistic. You know what I mean? How many cars y'all got? If you could afford, you just gonna have one car? You know what I'm saying? What if that car break down? So that's a man thing, right? That's a man thing. Women act like they can be equal with men in that area, and epically failing, because you're not mentally, emotionally, or physically, biologically able or fit or equipped to take that type of a position and say, well, I got a gang of men. I got men for this and men for that. Oh, okay. What happens when you get pregnant? That's all y'all, all of your dudes is the daddy. You know what I'm saying? What happens then? Any dudes that's putting up with that either don't know, or they know you just ain't nothing but a flip. They're not taking you serious. Any dude that knows that he's just one of your D's is not taking you serious. He cool. You know what I'm saying? Because you just want to, you getting the losing end of that. Uncommitted, irresponsible community D or community box. The woman always gets the short end. You're going to lose that game every time. Every single time. The women win. Women win when they keep their legs closed. That skyrockets your value. That's where you own the level immediately. You don't have to have no diploma. You don't have to have no six-figure salary. You don't have to have no status. Keep your legs closed. If you don't got no miles on your heaven, you already there. Virgins can write their own ticket with billionaires. Let me say that again. Virgins, God forbid you look good, and God forbid you in the gym and you a virgin. Oh, you got an open check. You got an open ticket. Write your own ticket. And you got a father, or a brother, or a nation, or army, or whatever that's backing you up, that's protecting you, that's vouching for you, vouching for your character. You already wealthy. You $1 billion waiting to happen. You know what I'm saying? And you worth every penny of it. So why do our women in this feminism madness, BS, teach and push and promote pushing P's, Planned Parenthood, Plan B, my body, my choice, because they want you to ruin your value like they ruined theirs. They want your daughters to be as worthless and ran through and ruined as they are. They don't love your daughters. They don't love their sisterhood. If they did, they'll be yelling and screaming from the mountaintop, don't do what we did. Don't do what we did. They will be pushing V's, virginity. They wouldn't be pushing no P's. Straight enemies. Straight enemies to your women and girls. I got daughters and I got a granddaughter. So I have to take the right position as a man. I don't give a damn what no female think or feel or hurt your feelings or whatever. You should have taught your daughters, or you should have taught, your mama should have taught you what I'm teaching my daughters. I'm sorry for you, but since you wasn't taught that, now you want to contaminate my daughters and my granddaughter and our little girls, and you the enemy then. I'm going to air you out. So all you're gonna try to do is look for some cracks, or looking, well, what did you do? Or you looking for some faults, or looking for some tension or some problem in my marriage or in my parenting. Nah, mine already got past all of them booby traps. Whatever they choose to do as adults, that's their business. But under my watch, they was safe. Under my watch, they was virgins. Under my watch, they didn't get none of this. They didn't get no fake this, no tattoos, no BBLs, none of that. No fake nothing. Whatever they choose to do once they become adults, that's on them. But under my watch, they were safe. They was safe. They was secure. They was raised up. They was healthy. They was taught correct. They was protected. They didn't have no violations, no intimate violations as children, because I would have deleted everything. I would have deleted everybody. I have no problem with that. So why would our women not want that priceless balance in their life and in their child's life? You produce the child with the dude. I don't care. It's just like us. If we do the crime, we do some crime, we gonna do the time. We ain't gonna be in there crying about it. We gonna do the time. Some people got 10 years, 5 years. Some people got life. Some people got 18. If why y'all act like y'all don't got to do the time? What's the time? Making sure that your child got a father, making sure your child's father has the natural authority and respect that he's supposed to have, because they learn they disrespect of their father from the mother, from you. How many of our daughters and sons have been robbed your own sons and daughters of having a quality father just because he didn't want to be with your ass no more, or you don't want to be with him, whatever the case is. If you didn't want to be with him, it's because he didn't do things the way you wanted him to do it. He was doing his program. You didn't like it. You got bitter and you left and you took the children and robbed the children of a father. This is most cases. I'm a product of that. All of us, that's, majority of us, I ain't gonna say all, majority of us, males and females, that was raised in the streets of America, was raised by single mothers. And the mothers left. Our mothers left our fathers, told us whatever story they told us, said we don't need him. God got us, or Jesus is my man, or whatever, whatever. But if you start growing up and you start asking more mature questions, mama, so was you married? Was you and daddy married when y'all had me? No. What? So you was a fornicator? Like, so you was like a little thought? So I'm the product of what exactly? Oh, I don't want to tell that truth. You know what I'm saying? So how is he the bad guy, mama, when you wasn't even married to him? And then I got 2 or 3 other brothers and sisters that we got different daddies. How are they all the bad guys, mama? You know what I'm saying? How are you telling us and teaching us that these men ain't nothing and they deadbeats and we don't need them? Like, why are we hearing all of this? We didn't do nothing wrong. We didn't ask to be here. Why is this what we being taught about the men, the male presence, the father presence? Why I don't see no example of respect for black males from you, mama? Why is it always contention and beef and complaining and accusing, mama? So, how do you know what a real man is, mama? Did you used to have one? Maybe you had a real man, mama. Maybe you left a real man, mama. Maybe you didn't realize what being a real woman was if you had a real man, mama. Maybe once you left that real man, he kept it pushing and found another woman that recognized him or appreciated him more. And once you realized that you tripped, you wanted to come back and you couldn't come back exclusively, you would have to share him, mama. You know what I'm saying? And that was too much for your ego again. So you said he wasn't no good because now he this and that. Like, no, you moved your meat and lost your seat, mama. So when you're a child, like, me personally, I'm speaking personally, I heard these types of stories from my mama. I was the one who had to comfort my mama, may God be pleased with her, while she cried herself to sleep at night with 3 or 4 or 5 of us. You know what I'm saying? We thought he was the worst monster on earth until we grew up, until I started growing up and becoming a young black man and hearing and seeing the fingers being pointed at me like that. Like, wait a minute, you the one did this. You the fast little broad that was throwing that box at me. Wait a minute, hold on. I did what? She said I did what? Oh. So then you start having to rethink all this. Like, damn. So my pops like stayed away, and I stayed away. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't allowed or respected to be the true authority over my children. You know what I'm saying? And the government or the state or whatever gets brought in, and like, wow, this is how this cycle go. Wow. So now I'm the villain. Oh, it was on me. Oh, man. So the whole court system and media and all of that, movies and TV shows, is all geared to make us look like the victimizers, the criminals, and make them look like the victims. When in so many cases, it's the complete opposite. The abusers and the misusers and the opportunists and the quitters and the cheaters and the liars be them. It be the sisters. Now, if you look at the stats, you look at, and you don't even have to believe the stats. Don't believe me. Look at the condition of our society. And if you got the time and the energy to go even deeper and fine tooth comb it and look at the stats that produce the conditions, because the conditions already tell you the whole story. You see the effect, you see the product. So Cause and effect. We see the effect. The effects is trash. The present condition of, of our women in relationships is pure failure, pure trash. But we know how to say my body, my choice when it's convenient. We know how to take the credit for all the wins, but we passing out blame cards for the failures, right? His blame is he is his fault, or it's their fault, or it's everybody's fault. And you get some fault. You Oprah Winfrey passing out fault. You know what I'm saying? When you crashing and burning, once you got to deal with the consequences of your choices. Now he tricked me, or they pressured me, or my mama didn't teach me right, or all. Like, what about your choice? Remember, you was your choice. Remember, you were just pushing peas hard. Right? What is a real man? Do you know what a real man even is? To say who is one and who ain't one? Is a real man going to give you what you want? Hell no. A real man is going to do just the opposite. A real man is not going to give you what you want. A real man going to give you what you need. And in most cases, what we need is not what we want. And what we want is not what we need. So most failed relationships are due to immaturity and selfishness. Childishness, immaturity, and selfishness. Selfishness. Let me say it one more time. Selfishness. Selfishness, which is a form of childishness. You don't see yourself as a we. You see yourself as all about me. Everything is supposed to serve me. The relationship didn't serve me no more. Or the marriage didn't serve me no more. Serve you? You're supposed to serve it. You're supposed to serve it for it to serve you. It's like a farmer. Like, men already understand that. Men understand that you don't work, you don't eat. Men understand farming and gardening. You got to get out there and turn over some dry ass soil and till the land and pick out the bugs and water it and turn it over again and plant some little peas or beans or something, some little sprouts to try to get the soil fertile. We got to go through all kind of back-breaking, sun beating down on you, thankless work just to get the soil soft enough that it might produce for you. The soil is a woman. You got to go through all this thankless, back-breaking labor to prepare the soil that hopefully that she gonna produce for you in a few years, maybe 2 or 3 years after you do all this thankless work. But she might produce for somebody else. You might have fertilized that soil and tilled that soil and cultivated that soil just so she can give her soil to somebody else that didn't do none of that. Statistics show and present conditions show that the greatest liars, the biggest liars and the greatest liars are our sisters. The greatest cheaters are our sisters. The greatest population, they outnumber us by 2 million. So numbers alone is going to tell you that the greatest lying and cheating and failing and all of that is going to be them because they outnumber us. But bar for bar, pound for pound, is greater. While they're the main ones that's the most vocal and most verbal and loudest about accusing us of being the cheaters, accusing us of being the liars, accusing us of being narcissistic and failures and, and it's the complete opposite. It's a projection. It's a projection. So somebody that's not successful wouldn't even be able to say what I'm saying. I'm talking about successful in relationships, successful in marriage, successful in fatherhood. Wouldn't be able to say this. I'm not Kevin Samuels. You know, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. My record is far greater than Kevin Samuels. He was a good talker, you know what I'm saying? He was a good studier, a researcher. But as far as his application, his personal application of whatever he taught, I mean, I don't see no success or record of success. It don't mean that you can't be a good coach. Phil Jackson or whoever, you know, you can train somebody to be championship teams. That don't mean you ever was a franchise player. So I'm not taking nothing away from the brother like that. But that's the excuse that so many women use. With he wouldn't even have no such and such, and he wouldn't even marry, talking all this, and you know his sexuality was in question. He was this, acting this. Like, well, you ain't got none of that on me. You ain't got none of that on me. You ain't gonna find much more solid manhood, husbandhood than me, by God permission. So you just have to turn the channel. You just have to turn this off because it's backed up with too much accomplishments in this area, too much success. So if you want to be a millionaire and you never been a millionaire, yeah, you can have all kind of little millionaire coaches and how to be a millionaire. Niggas never, they say everything that you want to hear though, man. You're the best. You're the best. All you have to do is manifest it. Look, you're so good, and you know God is with you. They hit you with all of that, but you don't got a million, and they don't got a million. But somebody that really knows how to get a million, that really got a million, they gonna tell you, nah, none of that fairy tale shit works. No, this is what you got to do. You got to listen to me. You got to obey me. You got to follow my instructions. You got to let me train your ass, train you, you know, like a puppy. You know, how you let the corporate boss train you and you brag about being trained. Yeah, you got to let your man train you. Let a real man, you know, your brother, melanated man, train you. Train you. See? Yeah, that's why you don't got one. Because those of us that are real men, we know our value. We know we can talk like this. We know we can let these testicles hang and just watch you just burn up. Watch you just get red with, you know, cayenne pepper heated. And we just laughing. We already successful. Like, I'm already a multi-millionaire. I'm already a trillionaire with this. I'm already enjoying it. You know what I mean? And I'm not beat nobody over the head or whatever. But if you step outside the door, you listen to all these TV shows and dating shows, popping the balloon shows, and Kendra G's and all this. Y'all miserable, lonely, crying, talking about it, hitting the wall, and you ain't no good man. I'm tired of being single. I'm tired of being a boss, and I don't want to. Yeah. So when you gonna listen to real men? Well, who made you a real? Okay, what's your definition of a real man? Because I just ran down my whole 30-year track record of being a husband, being a father, being a brother, being a soldier, being a heterosexual warrior, being, you know, do you know a better one? Yeah, my daddy or my grandfather. Okay, where he at? Where he at? Why you ain't listening to him? You obviously ain't listening to him. Well, these men today is different. Okay, well, they was raised by you. These men today was raised by single mothers like you. So when y'all gonna start listening to some black man again? What black man exists that y'all even listen to, that y'all will even obey, that y'all will even follow his instructions or follow his directions? Oh, my pastor said. What about your man? What about the man you opening your legs, you open your knees to? If he tell you strap some work to yourself, you will do it. He tell you to do some dirt, you will do it. He tell you clean your ass up, you got a problem with it. You trying to control me now. He trying to be too possessive and control me. Narcissist. Who hurt you? They'll hit you with all kind of, every woman. The question is, who didn't hurt me? What woman didn't hurt me? But I'm not moved and controlled by hurt. by who hurt me. You know what I'm saying? If I'm driving, I'm fixing on a car, and I accidentally, turn a wrench too hard, and it's a little rusted pan, and it sliced my hand. Yeah, I hurt me by trying to fix you. What you mean? Who hurt me? I'm working on you. You ain't restoring yourself. That's for goddamn sure. Yeah, I hurt myself trying to help you, and I don't. It's not gonna stop me from working on cars. I just learned the lesson not to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wear protective gloves. I'm gonna wear some kind of other protection when I'm dealing with y'all now. Because I see you'll cut me, and then blame me for being cut. So, unless a person is already successful in the natural institution and natural order of things, the natural chain of command of man, woman, and child, then you ain't listening to him anyway. The ones that are successful, they ain't even listening to. So why should I care about how anybody feel when you're not going to listen anyway? All of the best examples and teachers and so-called coaches and prophets and whatever, you don't listen to anyway. If the dude ain't saying it the way you want to hear it, if he ain't tickling your ears and pandering to you and stroking your little ego, then you don't want to hear it. So that's why you're not successful. That's why we're failures. The man, like I said, he has options that the women don't have. So the women immerse themselves in this whole get the bag, boss chick, political power. They try to put on the man's pants or fight the man at his own game or be equal with the man in your disappointment with the man. Well, he'll just go deal with a poor woman, an uneducated woman. Or y'all just wanted a young girl, or y'all want to go overseas and get these women that don't know no better. Absolutely, that's only intelligent. What do you mean? Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't you do that? That don't even make no sense to act like that's a bad thing. You can't shame intelligence. How you gonna shame intelligence? No, marry who you can afford. Marry who appreciates you. Marry who looks up to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no woman looking across at me or looking down like we equals. No, because you can't respect my judgment. You're going to question everything I do. Every move I make, you're going to have something to say about it. You're not going to agree. You know what I'm saying? No, I need to be wiser than you. I need to be older than you. I need to be more experienced than you. Otherwise, you're not going to feel comfortable with me. You're not going to trust my judgment. You're not going to feel secure with me because you think you know just as much as I do, if not more. I don't need no know-it-all broad. I don't need no know-it-all woman. Or not even know-it-all. I don't need a know-as-much woman. No, I need to know more than you. That's why you go to teachers and trainers. That's why you submit to teachers and trainers, because you acknowledge and they know more than you. That's how you improve. You get around somebody that you know is wiser than you, smarter than you, more experienced than you, more successful than you. That's how you become that, right? Or you want to just compete. I want to be equal. That's why you miserable. You want to be equal with your man. That's why you miserable. You'll never be happy trying to be equal with your man. That's not your nature to be equal with your man. That's just like your child trying to be equal with his mama. Yeah, once you become equal, that's time. It's time to go. You equal with me? You get out and get a job and get your own house and buy your own food. You equal with mama. Remember? The hell up out of here. That's the nature. That's the natural chain of command. That's how this works. So women don't even feel comfortable. Women don't want to be equal with no man. Women want to be chauffeured around. Women don't want to drive, not they man. A woman can be a boss of somebody else. She ain't gonna be a boss of her man. Yeah. If you getting on an airplane or you getting in a Maybach or a limousine or something, you want to drive the limousine. No, you want to be chauffeured around. You want your man to drive. You want somebody qualified to drive so you can relax and feel safe and secure and focus on the beautiful clouds or the mountains or whatever else you can focus on because you know he got this. That's the example. That's the nature of the male-female dynamic relationship and relationship. Now, if you're a employer, a school teacher, you something where you rule or you govern over people, yeah, that's cool. That's not your personal life, though. You better learn how to turn that switch off as soon as you walk in my house. As soon as you let any of that little power trip or job title description bleed in how you handle me, how you talk to me, you finna be chastised. You about to be chastised. I ain't talking about physically, because whatever you did, if you give me a boss attitude, you give me some boss back talk, you're gonna get chastised with the same thing that you hit me with. Yep, you better keep that out there in the corporate world. Yep. Y'all need to hear manhood talk. Manhood talk. Stop being punks. Stop letting your women run you. Women don't want to run you. Women get disappointed. You break their heart and you disappointed when they see that you a punk. Like, damn, they talk. He was in the penitentiary all these years. He got deep voice. He got muscles. You know what I'm saying? He got respect with other dudes. Like, you know what I'm saying? He big homie regulating, but with me, he a punk. Like, I thought I had a real one. He looked strong with everybody else. When it came to me, I can tell he was raised by a single mother. I can tell that he don't know how to put his foot down. He don't know how to stand on his manhood. He don't even know how to be a man when it comes to a woman. Can't respect it. Then they looking at the front door. Now their eyes wandering. But you got a rider, you know what I'm saying? So now you finna get him or the dude that you choose to mess with. You finna get both of their life in danger because you dissatisfied with the man that you chose, and now you finna go try to creep or whatever. He gonna find out and do something to both of y'all. Yeah, man. We don't know nothing about the science of mating. We don't know what a real man is. So you may as well try to look for real men. Got all these relationship coaches. How many of them is married? How many of them is successfully married? How many of them is married and you can actually see or hear from their wife? Their wife is just as sharp as they are when it comes to his program, knowing it's his program, knowing who their leader is, who their head is, the head of their family, head of her, head of the children. No in-laws is running the house. No preachers and pastors is running the house. No corporate bosses is running the house. He running the house. Kindly, quietly. It don't even seem like he the king because he don't even have to act like that. She just know he the king. And if she get out of line, he'll remind her. You know what I'm saying? Got nothing to do with how much money he make. If I don't make enough, I'm not the king because I don't make enough money. All right, well, let me relieve you of your post. Let me go on and let you go and find somebody that you can respect like a king because he makes as much money as you think he's supposed to make. And then I'll go find somebody that got lower standards, you know what I'm saying? That's lower maintenance, that's going to see me as the king I know I am. I'll find, who I can afford. Marry who you can afford, brothers. Marry who you can afford. And I'm not talking about financially, just financially afford, who you can mentally, emotionally, and spiritually afford. Somebody that ain't bucking you, somebody that ain't rejecting you and resisting you, somebody ain't disrespecting you, somebody that appreciates your energy, appreciates your walk, appreciates your vision, appreciates what you've been through, your experience, appreciates how you treat them, how you treat people before them, how you treat your or treated your mama, or how you treated your children, or how you treated your bitter baby mama, and seeing what she put you through. You know, real women gonna sit down and study their man. They gonna study all of that. Okay, well, yeah, I see he ain't really what they say he is. I see his baby mama or his ex is really on some BS. She really trying to tear our situation up because she mad that he moved on with me, and she like jealous or envious or whatever. And I'm trying to actually be there and be a bonus mom for her children, but she trying to block that and make things hard and make our life miserable. Like, y'all know how y'all get down. We know how y'all get down for sure, but we just don't got time to talk about it. Like, man, don't talk about that. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to hear that. We don't want to talk. It's just I'm a rapper and this is YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm a married man. So my talking is from experience and from conquering those experiences. You know what I'm saying? Conquering that drama, that mess, that miserable ops. You know what I'm saying? All is you got to have discernment, and you got to be able to tell that I know what I'm talking about. You got to know I was a super target all through the 90s of bitter females, jealous dudes, you know, homegirls, in-laws, you name it. You got to know what my strong headstrong position on this and that, you know what I'm saying, my beliefs. You have to know I was a public target enemy number one. You wanted me, you couldn't have me your way, or man. So this is just a blueprint. This is just confirmation for brothers, man. Stand on your value. Know your value. Your value ain't in your money. We got to get money. Don't get me wrong. Shouldn't even be trying to mess with no female if you ain't about getting your money. But sometimes a woman is the one that's your number one help. She help you get money. She might even help you with money. Some females is wise enough. They done been through enough. They done made money and seen that this was all BS, and they can't enjoy all this luxury and relationships and resources and whatever that she got. So now she done broke it all the way down. All them fake unrealistic standards, then she done threw that in the trash. Like, man, I only got a few years left. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to die. What if I get sick? If I get sick right now, I've been sick, especially with this pandemic, the stuff that happened. There wasn't nobody there for me. I'll be in the house. I'll be in a swollen rigor mortis for 3 or 4 days, a whole week, and nobody know I'm in here. No, I need to break this on down. What good is having luxury car, luxury house, luxury purses, all this old fashion? What good is having all that? You ain't got no man. You ain't got a man that's going to be there for you, that's going to look out for you, secure you, so you can feel secure. I have somebody. I have a man. You know what I'm saying? So we know our value. All we doing is waiting. It's just a matter of time. They don't crash and burn soon. We already know. Yeah, how much money you got, how much fame, status, political power, whatever you pride yourself in. We know. What time is it? We know. Know your value. Know the stats, the statistics. Know the math. Keep yourself clean. Keep yourself healthy. Keep yourself smart. Keep yourself righteous. Shit, dudes is like virgins around here. We like, boy, don't be a clean heterosexual, you know what I'm saying, solid dude. Man, you like a virgin around here. You can write your own ticket. And it's not, I'm not saying it is like Deuce Bigelow gigoloing or something like that, but these women that have wasted their whole life chasing a career and chasing money and status, once they finally get it, they see how lonely that big old house is. They see how cold that big old bed, that California king bed is. That master bedroom all by yourself. I don't want this big ass house and I'm the only one in it. Me and my dog. The They know they breaking it on down. You just gotta have patience, brother. Just be a solid man. You know what I'm saying? They gonna be like, hey, how you doing? You know, they gonna, and if they don't, then they don't. I ain't waiting for that. It's enough little, you know, regular low income females that's bomb, that's willing to, you know, be a helpmeet, that help me on my level, whatever little grade level I am as a man. I might be a D minus man, but there's a woman that's there for a D minus man. I don't need no A plus or B plus high maintenance, successful female that feel like you above me. Okay, you are above me. Good luck up there. Good luck up there. It's lonely up there at the success at the top. I'm down here where the love and the companionship and the struggle love is. The struggle love. That's the real love. I'm down here where the struggle love is at. Man, it ain't nothing like it. With that struggle love, boy, it's rough when you rich and lonely and you get sick. You get sick and you can't call nobody to bring you no soup or bring you no Theraflu or bring you no whatever it is you suffering from, or meet you at the hospital or take you to the hospital or visit you at the hospital, because you a boss. You don't need no man. You don't need no man. But yeah, us little poor, you know, little street dudes. We ain't got no job. We ain't got no education. We got women though. We got women though. We got companions. You know what I mean? Ain't no shortage of those that's willing to pay like they weigh. The cold thing is they willing to help us. They wasn't willing to help on their journey to get what they got. They played ninjas like you playing them. They played us real cold. They sacrificed us, threw us under the bus like we wasn't worth nothing. But once they got to Oz, to Emerald City, and pulled that curtain back and seen what it really was, they like, oh Lord, let me see, can I hurry up and get back to Kansas? Oh Lord, I hope he's still there. He's still there, but you know, he with somebody else. So you're gonna have to bump it on down and break it on down even more and say, are you willing to do like Isaiah? Are you willing to, you know, let me share you? Because there's 2 million more of us than it is of you. And you got to take that up with God. You don't like that math, you don't like them facts, you take that up with God. Don't get mad at somebody like me because I know the math and I know my value and I know brother's value. While this whole media machine and all this is trying to make it seem like we're not the prize, we're not the valuable ones, we're the liabilities. Oh, okay. We know the math, we know the numbers, we know the laws of nature, we know, you know, that we can survive. We can survive. A man, the nature of a man can survive his whole life without that. We doing it every day in the penitentiary. We know that we can survive, you know, but we can't survive as a species without the woman. We can't survive as a species because we need the woman to reproduce, right? The woman needs us to reproduce. But the woman can't survive her lifetime without a man. We can survive our lifetime without a woman. We just can't survive as a species. Woman can't even survive her lifetime because all the things that get built and get fixed and maintenance and protection and security has to be done by a man. You get in trouble, the police, you don't want no woman police to show up. No disrespect to the woman police. You see what happened to the Secret Service little detail. See how they got changed up real quick and got replaced with big, strong men as tall as him and taller than him. Yeah. You feel secure, you know, a dude is allegedly abusing you or something like that, and you got to call 911 and a woman show up, you're going to feel secure. He was just abusing a woman. Like, you feel secure. Like, you go, no, I need a need somebody that's gonna make him respect me or respect. Man, I'm just trying to tell you. So this is a man's channel, right? I don't know, what the demographic is exactly, but I know the majority. I looked at the analytics, so that's why I'm speaking man talk. All these females claiming or complaining about ain't no real man. What is there? Some? Is there any real men? Because if there is any real men, then you should have one. You know how to define them. You're such an expert at defining what a real man is, then you should have one, right? You should know exactly what they want, what they require, and what they like, and you should already be with one. I can't believe that you know what one is if you're not with one. If you can't get one, let alone you can't keep one, I don't believe you. I think I know what a real woman is because I got one. I got one. 3 children, 20 something years. Body is out of this world. You know what I'm saying? Mind is even farther out of this world. Spiritual, discipline, businesswoman, entrepreneur, mother, superwoman, warrior, ain't with the BS. The one that be putting me up on this level of female BS and game. That's why you got to have a sharp warrior wife or woman, because males generally don't pay attention to the little detailed BS games that females run because we don't care. But another woman be on it. Like, you can't, they pick up on all of it. Like, this is trying to blah, blah, blah. Don't, this is, and that's why females be mad, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't run that on my wife. You can run that on me because I don't even care. Like, thank you charming me, or thank you finessing me, or something like that. My wife be there like, this please, you say this, baby, say this. Next time you go on a live, say this, and this. And that's what I'll be doing. And it burns. And like, oh, you misogynist. I bet your wife don't. My wife gave me the subject. My wife gave me the subject about y'all. Because y'all the one, y'all the one be attacking. I say y'all, it ain't y'all. I'm talking about these females be the ones attacking the wives. They attack the successful black, especially black ones, the successful women that become wives, and they call them pick-me's, or they call them slaves, or they call them stupid or foolish. They call them all kind of negative things, when just yesterday this was relationship goals. Until you figured out that you failed, and you know that the choices that you made disqualified you. Now you don't need one, girl. I see it in your eyes. You trapped. You don't want to be there, and so you believe everything he did, so he ain't never cheated on. They're gonna hit you with all that. Cold, bitter, cold failures. So y'all as mechanics have to know that this is how these demons is going to be screaming. Once you standing on your real righteous manhood and your real righteous authority, your natural authority, that's like exorcism. That causes their demons to scream and act out, and you know what I'm saying? But you can't take it personal. You still got to be a mechanic. You still got to let them throw up that little bean soup, that little exorcist bean soup, and cuss you out and all of that. But once they get it out their system, they exhausted, and they actually want to listen to you. So you saying that we just lost in, and like, oh, they want to listen now after you try to cuss me out and destroy me. You seen that didn't work. You can't hurt me like that, but you're hurting yourself. But it's good you got all that poison out. You still got a little vomiting to do. I expect some more. But after that, maybe we can go to work. Maybe I can put you, in the garage and, see what that engine do. See what that rusted pan. See that that cracked head gasket. Maybe we can actually get somewhere. Once you get all that demon soup about you. But somebody got to draw it out. Somebody got to actually know the words, the holy water words to draw it out. But in most cases, the demons is going to flee. You resist a devil, you resist a devices, they going to flee. They're not going to hang around. to get exercise. They're gonna be like, he's a live one. We don't want no parts in me. Unfollow. Yeah, unfollow. You can't hide from this. You know what I'm saying? It's already in you. Can't unhear what you heard. So you'll be back. Not with me, but you'll be back. Somebody else is gonna follow up the same things I said, and you're gonna have to face it. But what is a real man? What man is qualified for them to even listen to and obey, submit to, obey? Yeah, obey. Capital O, BEY. Obey. Right? You know what you do when you go to work. You know what you do when you stop at a red light. You know what you do when you go to court. All rise, you know what I'm saying? With whatever rules, obey these rules. They posted on the board. You know, all them words that you have no problem with the white corporate people saying to you, but you only act like it's blasphemy when your man says it, when he has the most natural and divine right to say it and to take that position. He's your authority. He's your judge. He's your leader. He's your boss. Like I said earlier, just because he don't write out no invoice for a dollar amount of his value and his role don't mean that he ain't that man. He ain't that guy. Mr. 6'5", my older uncle told me this: happiness is being single. A man told you that? Nah, that's a loser, unfortunately. That's a quitter. That means he's abstinent. Single means you abstinent. So happiness for an older uncle said that, yeah, that's a loser. You know what I'm saying? So he pays for 304s, or like what does he do with his biological need? Single. If you're having sex, you're not single. If you're having sex, you're not single. You're in a relationship. Yeah, that's not a Muslim. That's against Islam. So if you say he was a Muslim, that's not a Muslim. That's a hypocrite. The law of Islam, you absolutely have to be married. Half of the faith, half of Islam is marriage. So he lied to you, bro. But it's good that you can come here and get the real. He wasn't a Muslim if he was single. Not if he said that. I mean, you can be single, but you're a failure. So I'm letting you know, these are the laws. Don't just take my word for it. Go research it. Half of the faith. You cannot even be considered a full Muslim. You can only at best be considered 50% of a Muslim if you're an adult and you're single. Half of the whole faith comes from being married, and the struggles and the trials and the tribulations and the completeness that comes from being married. How can you even be a father, a husband? How can you even be a businessman? How can you keep a business together, a team together, a partnership together if you can't keep a woman? So he's false. But that's a good comment. I appreciate that comment. But I'm happy to be able to tell you that he was wrong. D. Johnson 3, yes, we need some black political leaders. Everybody say they gangsters, but they scared to stand up for something, right? I don't even know that. That's not even politics. It's just manhood. Because politics in this world is trickery. That's trick knowledge. That's demonic. So yeah, it ain't about being political, you know, even though political means governing, but it's just about manhood. It's about the laws of justice, freedom, justice, righteous freedom, righteous justice, righteous equality. Yeah. But yeah, ask me some questions, man. Let me see. These dudes be leasing cyber trucks. I'd rather drive a clean 2020 paid for, right? I'd rather drive a clean 6.4. I don't trust nothing really 2020 unless I built it. Unless I built it. So, we using cars as metaphors for women. Unless I built it, unless I'm the first one ever drove it, and I'm part of the builder of it, you can't trust it. What I mean, why would I trust just that vehicle? That don't even make sense. That don't even make no sense. If I can't afford no other vehicle, yeah, then I just got to go with that. But it don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? If you're a mechanic, you shouldn't just have one car. How do you be a mechanic and you just got one car? No, if you're a mechanic, that proves you're a mechanic, because you don't you must be successful. Like you don't be a mechanic just to have cars on crates in your driveway. No, you a collector, you a salvage, you a junkyard. That's a junkyard. A mechanic actually fixes them and has them driving. He actually restores them and improves their condition and actually puts them to the use that they was made for. That's a mechanic. Anything else is pick apart or a junkyard. Mr. 65, how is a Muslim relationship created? How's any relationship created? Understanding knowledge of self, the knowledge of self, and the knowledge of the purpose of life, the purpose of the human being. So treat people the way that you want to be treated, but you have to understand the laws of chain of command, the laws of authority. The man or the husband is the authority. He's the president. The wife is the vice president in that relationship. She is not his superior. He is her superior. They are not equal. They're equally valuable. They have equal value, but they don't have equal role or equal rank. Not with each other. My wife might be the superior, the boss of all kind of other men in other ways in the world and corporate or whatever. But with me, between me and her in a relationship, the spousal relationship, I'm her boss. I'm her boss. The president is the boss of the vice president. It don't mean that she's the boss of everybody else except him. That's how a Muslim or Christian or Hebrew, Jewish, whatever, that is the law well known of marriage. That's the chain of command. How would a woman ever be your boss? How would the woman ever be your protector or your, all of the maintainer and all that? She's there to help you. But you the one got the muscles, right? You the one that's built for war. She built for softness. You hard. She's soft, right? She the one that got to be extra sensitive and hypersensitive and spiritual to raise sensitive children. And that ain't you. That ain't us. Daniel Walters. I feel like since Cam has been on his campaign, you ain't got to be Muslim to understand what righteousness you are hearing for real. Exactly. It ain't a Muslim thing. It's do unto others as you want others to do unto you. Treat people the way you want to be treated. But there's a authority factor. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll treat my wife the way I want to be treated, but some things I can't treat my wife the way I want to be treated because she's a woman. She's under my charge, so I can't treat her the way, quote unquote, I want to be treated, and vice versa, because we got different roles. I don't look to her for the same thing she looked to me for. So you have to have a knowledge of yourself, knowledge of your role as a man, and knowledge of the role of a woman. So that's all the ideals, the leadership, the ideals of a nation is in the head of the male, right? He's built to be in front. He's built to be the one that takes the brunt and protects those behind him, protects the woman and the children. She ain't built to be out there in front of you or out there on the side of you. She's supposed to be behind you. That's why your body is bigger and stronger. So anybody that, that don't understand that, that's why they failures at relationships. Sound like she's a slave. What is a slave? Are you black, Mr. 6'5"? What is a slave? Who defines slave? What does slave mean? Do you know what slave mean? Do you know in Arabic the word Abdul, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the word Abdul, all the Muslims wear the name Abdul. Do you know that means slave? So what is your definition of slave? Is your definition of slave what European demons did to us for the last 400 years? Because that's not the definition of slave. That's the definition of satanic torture and terrorism and torment, affliction, bondage. So what is the definition of slave? Since you want to bring that up, saying it sounds like a slave. Just like you put stuff on the scale, each component of the scale does a job. That's right, Daniel. Yeah, we all slaves. Ain't you a slave to oxygen? Ain't you a slave to water, H2O? Ain't your body made of 3/4 or 75% water? Ain't you a slave to the earth? Can you live anywhere else? Can you breathe underwater? What do you mean? Sounds like a slave. This whole laws of nature sound like we all slaves, don't it? Can you break these laws and live? So I'm wrong if I know how to tell you that you're a slave. And yeah, I'm a slave. I'm a slave. She's a slave. Your children are a slave. Everybody's a slave. Now what? You want to be free? What do you got to do to be free? You a slave to 98.6 degrees body temperature. You want to be something else? Let me see you get free. Let me see you free yourself of 98.6 degrees and oxygen and water. A slave does what is told. I'm Creole, Cherokee, Indian, and my is Kareem. I guess you say my name is Kareem. Creole is not a race. Creole, I'm guessing you mean biracial, mulatto, French mixed with black, mixed with Cherokee, Indian. Cherokee is not a race. And a slave does what he's told. So you absolutely a slave because you absolutely doing what you told. So what makes this slavery any better or worse than the slavery that you following every day? You don't run red lights, right? You're a slave. You do what you told. You follow the laws of America. Sounds like a slave to me, right? That's what I was about to say. We're all slaves. If you think you're not, you're a lost slave, right? But I appreciate the comments. I like cracking it open like that. You know what I'm saying? If do you believe in God, Mr. 6'5"? Because like I said, in Islam, the Muslims, the word slave is not a bad thing. The word slave means worker or servant or volunteer. So if you're a Christian, if you're whatever, that's what Jesus is, a servant. You know what I mean? That's what slave means. That's what Abdul means. Servant of, willing servant, volunteer servant, worker of. So why would you think that's a bad thing? It sounds like a slave. Yeah, that's exactly what we are. That's what we should be. We should be servants, volunteer servants. Right, Devon Cutmore. I'm a slave of Christ. I'm a slave of Allah. I'm a slave of Yahweh, Yahshua, whoever your leader is. That's why we call them master, right? Master. You're a martial artist. You would be calling Bruce Lee master. master. That's a form of respect because I'm following and obeying him. I'm submitting to him and obeying him so I can learn what he has to teach me. So why is it so hard to digest when a black man say it? We understand them concepts easily. We have no problem when nobody else say it. When a black man say it, seems to be a problem. It's a slave. What are you talking about? We was the slaves. What do you mean? You talking to the genuine article. You talking to the descendant of the belly of the bowels of the beast product. So how you Creoles didn't go through that. Cherokees didn't go through that. Kareems, Arabs didn't go through that. You talking to the product of that. So was that supposed to be like a emotional word, or supposed to evoke emotion? Sound like a slave? Like, talk to me. Because according to this society and these laws that these politicians is pushing peas, you're not supposed to feel like a slave to your gender. If you feel like you're some other gender or some non-gender, then you should be free to be that. You can go box in the Olympics and say that you're a woman when you still using your testosterone and your man muscle density and bone density pounding away on a soft female. But you should be free. You shouldn't be a slave to your gender. You shouldn't be a slave. It sounds like a slave to me. Yeah, I'm definitely a slave, a happy slave of the God, the master of this day of judgment, the master of creation. I don't have no issue with that. Let's not look for an issue. I asked you the definition of a slave. That's definitely an issue. If you said it sounds like a slave, that is an issue. Sounds like a slave means when I saw roots, working 9 to 5 is slavery to working a 9 to 5 is slavery to me. Roots is not slavery. Roots is torture. What European slave masters did to us, that's not slavery. That's satanic torture, like I said. I just gave you the definition. Now, if you want to believe that as the definition, that's your business. But somebody gives you the actual correct definitions, and you still choose to feel or believe whatever you want to feel or believe based on the propaganda that you digested, then there's nothing I could do about that. But the word slave, especially in Islam and Muslim, as you said, means servant or worker. Servant or worker. Right. Right. The movie. Who made the movie? Why did you even see it? We lived it. We lived it. You know what I'm saying? Alex Haley was the one that, allegedly wrote it or whatever. He lived it. It's in his DNA. It's in my DNA. It's just like Spike Lee made the movie Malcolm X. So you're going to tell me, a 34-year veteran, member of the Nation of Islam, FOI soldier, you're going to tell me about the nation because you've seen the movie Malcolm X. And unfortunately, that's the ignorance that our people suffer from. We actually challenge the authentic articles with the manufactured propaganda that you got from wherever you got it from the enemy. But that's why I make myself available. Where can I find your definition of that? My definition of what? You don't have to talk in short sentences now. Like, take your time. My definition of what? Ask me anything, and I'm gonna give it to you details. Like I've been spending a few minutes, 20 minutes or something or so, answering your questions. And I appreciate them. That's why I'm focusing on them, because you're giving good questions and good comments. This is great content. I wish y'all would give me some hard questions. I wish you would disagree with me like that, so I can give you a clear explanation, a clear definition, and then take what I'm saying and go cross-reference it, go research it, and see if I'm lying, see if I'm incorrect. I ain't opened up near book. So if I'm correct, then that should tell you something. That I have opened up books for decades. You know what I'm saying? And I have become a book. What where can I find your definition? What is the availability in the community? I don't know what you're talking about now. I don't know what you're talking about now. But yeah, this is about real men. What is a real man, and how to stand on your manhood, how to be a man, because everybody claimed they won, right? Everybody claimed they're a real man. Every woman claimed that they want a real man, or they know what a real man is. If you know what a real man is, then you should have one, or you should be one. If you know what a real man is, and you're a man, you're a male, then you should be one. And we should be able to prove, based on what your definition or your accomplishments or your track record, your present condition is, that you are a real one, or you should have one if you're a woman, based on them same things. You should have a real man if you claim to know what one is, or you should be a real man if you claim to know what one is. BL singing, that was that. It's all good. Yeah, we just talking anyway. We can get on something else. But yeah, it's zero tolerance. It should be. We shouldn't take our women necessarily personal with they flaws or they accusations, or they just, you got to be smart enough to not take certain things personal and not rely on a woman. Not rely on a woman. We got to rely on God. They more have to rely on us than we have to rely on them. It's like a mother. She can't rely on her children. She has to rely on her man. The man can't rely. He can't go downhill and rely on his woman. She looking up to him. You got to look up to who we rely on. We got to rely upwards. We can't rely downwards. So you got to understand that they're going to hit you. These females is going to hit you a certain kind of way that clearly seems disrespectful. In a lot of cases, it is disrespectful. But if you're able to take it, then you proving that you are superior. I am your superior because I can take your disrespect. I'm not going to necessarily tolerate. I'm not just going to let you keep doing it. I'm going to check you with love. I'm going to check you and discipline you and train you. You know what I'm saying? And if I can't, then you're just not the one for me. If I can't train you, you're not the one for me. If you allow yourself to be trained specifically by some employer or some corporation that wants you to do exactly what they want you to do for them, but you won't allow yourself to be trained by me, then you ain't for me. You ain't the one for me. Absolutely not. So a lot of these relationships be just temporary bumps in the night. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just make each other feel good. Y'all there to keep each other tie each other over until the next relationship. Y'all like a little Snickers bars. Tie you over till dinner. You know what I'm saying? Keep you company until, you get to the next one. But even in that, even if it's a temporary, a temp job, a temp agency, you still finna obey this. I'm still gonna have to train you, even if you temporary. You ain't gonna be around me and I ain't training you to be with me, training you how to be with me, how to be around me, how to talk to me, how to dress around me, how to conduct yourself around me. You absolutely gonna get trained. You being around me. So it is what it is. I mean, I wish more men stood on their manhood, stood on their authority like that, and stopped being so sensitive to females' feelings, like they feelings was your law, like they run your program. I don't give a damn about your feelings. You're not for me. If you think feelings run the show, you're not for me. Quicker we get that out the way, the better. Oh, you think I'm supposed to cater to your feelings? God bless you. The door is right there. It stays unlocked on the inside. It only locks on the outside. Once you get to the outside, it's locked. But inside, like 6'5" say, oh no, you're not that kind of. You're not a slave. You're not trapped in here. The door stays unlocked on the inside. Yeah, and it's actually a power door. Like you ain't even got to turn the doorknob. It's one of the, like the grocery store doors. You get close enough, like you want to leave, that motherfucker gonna open for you. You ain't gonna have to turn no knob. It's gonna open for you. That's how I got my door set up. Oh, for real? Oh, let me. It's an escalator too. It's like them little walk escalators at the airport. Oh, you really you want to go? You don't just don't got to take the slow scenic route here. Hop on this little walking escalator. It's gonna get you to that sliding door fast. Quicker we can get out of here, the better. Life is short. Hurry up. Do it expeditiously. Yeah. That's how confident you have to be about your value and what you bring to somebody's life. That's how confident I am. You know what I mean? And I know how to find somebody on that I can afford that's gonna see me like that. I don't go trying to, well, at least 20 something years ago, I wasn't trying to do that. I never tried to get with celebrity females. That's a lost cause. Any female that think they're a celebrity or think they a status symbol or a political person, a powerful person, please, never. I knew my value was in people that looked up to me like that. A woman that looked up to me, that was impressed or admired my accomplishments on whatever little grade level of influence that I got, that respected the fact that soldiers and warriors and people in these streets respected me. She seen the value in that. Oh, okay, shit really get tough or, any problems. This dude is really part of an army. I ain't got to call no enemy. I ain't got to call no European. He with that whole business, and he represent an army and a brotherhood and a nation that's with that whole business. Okay, it's like trading places. Eddie Murphy, Randolph and Mortar. I believe I can hang out with you for a little while. I mean, you still don't know what you're gonna get with me, but I show you enough. Like, okay, I'm interested. This is something different. I believe I can hang out with you. Let me see what, how far this takes me with this guy. I see he's respected. I see that he about this business. I see, he healthy, heterosexual. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that works. You get to know a person. Just jump off the porch or, just jump in with both feet and stupidly. And I was never trying to smash. Like I done did so much of that as a rapper. Like my thing, me and my bro T, bro Malicon, and sometimes Solo and Layback, rest in peace. Like, man, we had so many of the baddest females, especially in LA. In LA in the 90s, in the early 90s, man, we had them all. And not to mention the throughout the United States, every city, the baddest ones. To the point, like I'm not trying to smash. Like we used to have competitions and contests on what's the baddest ones that we won't smash. That's how you start really getting to their minds and getting to their hearts. Now, I don't want to smash you. What's wrong with you? You gay or something? Or you got a disease? I'm like, nah, I just don't want to smash you. Like, so that they don't even know what to do with that. They never had their box turned down by the little dudes in their city, and they the tightest one in their city, and they was able to, get up to your hotel and get backstage, and you turn them down. Oh man, if y'all ain't never, if y'all don't have those kind of experiences with the psyche and with the mind of females, where you can experiment and find out how they really tick, because it was already heartbreaking knowing I know all of these dudes in your cities, in all y'all cities, y'all the little baddest females. They trying to work hard 9 to 5 and buy you flowers and earn your attention and take you out on dates and wait the 90-day rule and all that. You coming up to our little rooms or whatever the first day doing everything, thinking we're gonna remember you, thinking you special. And they ain't even really tripping. They just want to do something crazy and wild or whatever, and we the ones they do it with. Can't tell me nothing about no females. Can't tell me nothing about no females. And that's back in the 90s. So I can only imagine what it's like today. The most treacherous, the most cutthroat, the most lying, cheating, the most oh man, and the baddest ones be the worst. The baddest ones be the worst. Because they know they using that yellow cow beauty, they using that as they ticket to get backstage, they ticket to get in the club, they ticket to get to the basketball game front row. They already know the game, and we know the game. The baddest ones be the worst. So I knew that from the rip, you know what I'm saying, when it's time to choose a wife. Oh no, I'm not going nowhere near those circles. Nowhere near nothing like that. You find a woman that's gonna value you, not woman that see you as a lick or see you as a trophy or see you as an opportunity, stepping stone. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you got to put them to work. You got to make them work, prove that they really for you. And that's almost impossible if you're successful. When you're successful, you won't really know that until you fall off. You fall off or you fall on hard times, you go broke, you get locked up or something. That's when you're gonna know who's who. Struggle love. Struggle love is the only real love. That's the only real love. If you ain't been struggling with the person that you with, you ain't in love. You don't know what they are. You don't know who they are. You don't know who you are. Struggle love. Because you made as a helpmeet to help a man meet and overcome those struggles. Stress, struggle. But we don't want that. So yeah, that's the price. That's what a real man and a real woman is. Somebody that's down to struggle with each other, stay down with each other, and come up together. Don't quit on each other. Don't punk out on each other. Ain't a big liar and a cheater. If you're going to do something, tell the person, this is what I do. Tell them up front, matter of fact. Tell them up front as soon as you meet them. If it's a new relationship, but this is what I do. You know what I mean? I don't believe in monogamy or whatever, you know what I'm saying? This is what I do, but this is the precautions that I take, and this is the laws and the rules that I go by. So, if you get with me, this is what it'll be. And, lay it out there up front. Give a woman the opportunity to accept it or reject it. Give her the power and the respect up front to accept it or reject it. But if you don't, then you's a punk. You just a scam artist, a cheater, a liar. You're making her think one thing when you know that ain't what it is. You scared you're gonna scare the box away because you're gonna tell her how you really get down. All you're doing is destroying lives and making these females more and more monstrous. And it's gonna come back and bite you personally, or it's gonna bite you in the form of your sons or your daughters or something. You can't escape. We can't escape what we put out. We slaves, like Mr. 6'5" said, we slaves to what we put out. What we do to others, we slaves of the consequences of that. um, that word trained is hard on them. Black mud. Yeah, it's all right. I don't care. Like, there's no evil words. That's not a derogatory word. That's not like I'm calling you bitch. No, I need to train you. You need to be trained. Not just you need to be trained. I need to train you. I'm going to train you. Right? That's what your job say. You know what I mean? You have to be trained. We have to train you. And that's, you get happy. That means they chose me. I'm about to get trained. I'm about to get a promotion. I'm about to learn something new. Like, you gonna celebrate that, girl. Let's go to dinner. Let's celebrate. I'm gonna go to training. I got the position. Let your man tell you that. You ready to break up. Tell your homegirls and shit that he said he need to train you. And see what happened. See if they gonna throw a celebration dinner. You know what I'm saying, for your relationship. You finna move up in his life, in his relationship world. He told you what? He told you, well, get out, girl, get out. You just hurry up, run fast, girl, get out. Why you don't say that with that white man when he tell you he got to train you? Losers. The recipe for disaster. Recipe for failure. Failure homegirls. Failure, failure, failure. Where did I meet my wife? I met my wife at a restaurant. Yep, she was leaving, and I was coming in, and she was leaving. Exchanged numbers, called her next day or something like that. Met her at a restaurant. Yep. So yeah, I got a lot of experience, man. You know, I used to be a hot item in these streets. I used to be I wasn't a womanizer, but I had a whole lot of the women, like, a whole lot of young women, and this was in my early 20s. They was in their early 20s or they late teens, 18, 19, 20s. So they was fresh and perky, fresh off the showroom floor, and I still never been with a virgin. So even back then, if they was 18, 19, whatever, they still wasn't virgins. So y'all can't tell me nothing. If you don't have my experience with women and with our women, you cannot tell me nothing. The women ain't gonna say that. That's why, you don't have no women disagreeing or saying I'm lying. They don't even be over here on this page, I don't think. Yeah. And I was, like I said, I wasn't misused, and I never misused no females. I always brought more to their life. They all wanted to be my woman. They wanted me to be their man, but I'm not that guy. You know what I'm saying? So I got married because I got my wife pregnant. So I knew I was fornicating. I knew I was doing something that could lead to that, and it led to that. And she got pregnant, and we got married. So that marriage was 8 years, and then after that dissolved because it wasn't built on mutual faith, and in what I had faith in. So when I chose again a year later, then that was the right way. I learned my lesson, chose the right way, the way I was supposed to chose, and that's who I've been with ever since. 22 years, 3 children, 1 adult, 1 grandchild. But prior to that, you know what I'm saying, the baddest ones in LA. LA was known for the baddies, right? In the late 80s, early 90s, LA was known for the baddies. Well, you got that kind of experience, there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing that you could tell me. I wasn't never an ugly dude. I was a cute dude. I was popping. I was a soldier. Like it was too much. You know what I'm saying? I remember I used to say my prayers, and because I felt bad. I knew I was not planning to marry none of these women, but I knew I was bringing good into their life. I knew I was a positive light. You know what I mean? But I knew I wasn't intending to marry them like that, and they wasn't trying to be married. Like they just love my energy, love my presence, love being around me, love my conversation, love the other stuff. But I just knew that like I don't need to be doing this. You know what I'm saying? So I used to practice not doing it. I used to practice. I know this what you want to do, but I done did so much of that. Like let me do something different. So that's what really started getting them. You know what I'm saying? They fall hopelessly in love when they find out that you're not trying to smash and everybody else is trying to smash. You trying to actually enlighten them and educate them and just be good company, be a good friend or whatever for them. Oh Lord, I should have been smashing because they turning into straight obsessions. Like you know what I'm saying? Not that that's what you trying to do. Like so you just can't win for losing. Like damn. But that was a great lesson and a great training for me. All right, well, if you really want to affect them, don't touch them. Don't touch them. Don't get intimate with them if you really want to affect them. But you have to have, you have to be around so many anyway that you don't miss that. Like you're not starving and thirsty for that. Because dudes that ain't got that kind of experience, they starving, they thirsty for that. But if you had too much of it, you know what I'm saying, and you're like, all right, well, let's find the real value of life. Let's be friends. You know what I'm saying? Let's find out, the purpose of life, and let's try to help each other find our purposes and all kind of. I'll start being on some different stuff. But you make them want to smash you even more. They want to smash you. Now they want to smash you, and they feel bad if you don't go along with it. And they don't know what to do with themselves. Like, I feel so cheap. I feel so stupid. I shouldn't have did that. Like, nah, you good? I ain't telling nobody. You good. You know what I'm saying? You my girl, man. Come on, let's such and such. Let's go to such and such, the beach or something like. But I'm not smashing you. What's wrong with me? I don't understand what's wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with you. That's why I'm not doing it. Don't look. I'll show you. Like look. Like the blood is there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I exercise a different type of self-discipline and restraint. Like shit. I don't want to go on record, taking a chunk out of you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, remember C's Candy, the little chocolate store got the little box of candies. Like I what good is if I know I ain't gonna want you because you ain't a virgin. Like I don't want to be contributing to that same thing that I'm claiming that I don't want. Yeah, I could take a bite out of I can sample all these candies and shit. And then somebody that's qualified, a good dude, a brother coming behind me, want to buy that box, and he opened the box and all these candies got my saliva and teeth marks on them. Like that ain't cool. That ain't cool. I don't want nobody doing me like that. So I know whatever I do is gonna come back on me. I knew that as a youngster. So let me just try to be, like I'll treat others the way I would want to be treated. So that's why I was able to get a solid female. She wasn't no virgin, but she became a virgin again for me. So that was good enough. That was good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? That was good enough for me. Yeah, and a lot of times, our best relationships be our second and our third relationship. Talking about males, we gonna f up, we gonna mess up. Usually, the first one you get with or you get pregnant, that's not the one. That's not the one because y'all motivation was some lust or some crazy, cheap, superficial, whatever stuff anyway. But then once you get in that and then you actually produce a child, and then you got to be responsible, and you realize this ain't playtime no more. This ain't single swinging playtime. Like I really produced a human being that I'm responsible for. Then that changed your whole program. That changed the way you make choices and decisions and way you move. And I can't do what I used to do because I got a little child that looking to me for this and looking to me for that, and I got to be their example. So the next choice, if that relationship don't last, trust and believe that next relationship gonna be a way better choice than the first one. Way better choice than the first one. You might do something to F it up, but I bet you that second choice is way better. Bet you chose better the second time. I bet you. That's just how it works. We ain't living in no fairy tale. Usually men ain't really delusional. We don't believe in some fairy tale romantic stuff. We believe in the real deal facts and the headaches and the bump in your head and like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? So I would never be scared. I would never get burnt out. Man, I'm just gonna be single. What? Hell no. I don't care what a woman did to me. I'm not being single. I'm not being single. I know the benefits of having a woman. Shit. Life ain't worth living if you ain't got no woman. If you a man, in my view, life ain't worth living. Even it ain't even got nothing to do with sex. It just got something to do with the mental companionship, just the chemistry of a man and a woman, companionship, relationship. Just the voice of a woman, or just the touch of a woman, or just a woman laying on your shoulder, or just the presence. Like, man, what? Single? Ugh. That's just like that nigga at the Olympics. It's like that dude at the Olympics that was boxing a woman. That's what single is like to me. Like, ugh. 6'5". I like being single and having options. That's not single. Like I said, if you sexually active, you're not single. You in a marriage, you in a relationship. It's just the most stupid, irresponsible, reckless type of relationship. You having sex with somebody, you're not single. You're in a relationship with community community WAP. Community WAP and your community D. And that's the most foolish, reckless, I'm saying, ignorant, childish type of relationship that you are in. You're not single. You're not single. According to the laws of the universe, the laws of biology, the laws of spirit, the laws of nature, you are mating. You're mating. That means you're not single. You're just foolish. I got options. You got options. You got syphilis. You got herpes. You got HIV. You got chlamydia. You got options. You got abortion. You got autism. You got options. Yeah, but what do I know? Y'all gonna see how real it is in the field pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? They didn't launch a whole different level of attack while we think we got options. You're gonna see. I represent a force. I represent an actual force, an actual creator that even inspires me to say this type of stuff. And right after we say this type of stuff, you're gonna run into it. You're gonna run into it. You'll be like, damn, dude just said that to me. Damn. Yep. If y'all don't mind, man, if y'all haven't hit the like, but we do this every night. This is Monday through Friday, sometimes on weekends. I'm gonna keep it consistent. 6 o'clock. Pacific time, West Coast time, 9 o'clock East Coast time is the first. I'm doing that period. 6 o'clock every day. On West Coast time, 9 o'clock. But then after hours, I get on here and just chop it up with y'all if I got time and keep each other company. Some of us, got issues and we dealing with stuff, and we just need a live, real time voice, a brother. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that they can vibe to while they going through whatever they're going through, so they know they're not alone. They're not suffering and struggling what they're going through by themselves. So that's all I am. Just your brother. I'm the brother that you probably never had, or the uncle or the father or whatever, that figure that you might not have had. Somebody that got experience, that make themselves available, so you can literally ask me whatever, or you can vent, or you can accuse me, you can cuss me out, whatever. I ain't gonna take it personal. I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not asking for nothing. Oh, matter of fact, let me see. I am asking for something. I'm not asking, but if the Lord put it on your heart, put the spirit on your heart, then feel free to hit the Cash App. Wes. So that's my little digital soapbox, my collection plate, my daily collection plate. You know what I'm saying? Because Lord knows these rappers ain't putting me on no shows, ain't putting me in no movies and no video games. So this is my show. This is the TV show, the campaign trail, live entertainment, education, company, quality content, debate, opinion, facts, news, politics, relationships. You know what I'm saying? I'm an open book. I ain't the best. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dirty worm. I'm a sinner or whatever. You know, I done been through my shares of ups and downs and bumping my head and violating and being violated. But I'm here to talk about it and be able to share my little experience. Maybe it can benefit us. And if not, like I said, we just good company. We keep each other company. So time is okay. I got 4 more minutes. If y'all don't mind, hit the like button, like, subscribe, share, all that good YouTube algorithm business that they say. But we got each other. We keeping each other company. Brotherhood, sisterhood. You know what I'm saying? What did I do? It's the worst time in history for humans to be single for many reasons. I mean, that's true. But if it's a shortage of males, because I'm black, so as far as black people in America, adult black women outnumber adult black men of America by 2 million. So it's the worst time in history to be single. But what is the solution? What is the solution? Is the solution interracial dating? Is the solution being abstinent or celibate? Is the solution being rainbow? Or is the solution finding a quality man where there's a shortage, quality brother? Is the solution poly, sharing them? Whatever the case is, they're going to have to be faced with that. We got to be faced with it. They got to be faced with it. But it's more them. Because I don't know many of us that's qualified for that whole sharing poly thing, even though we're doing it already, especially if we claim we single and we got options. That's basically the most raggedy form of polygamy. That's the most raggedy, reckless, irresponsible, childish form of polygamy. Community D and community P. Yusuf Arlan, my wife had I got that too. You know, I put a couple of extra ones on your order, Yusuf, on that. My wife advised me if she passes before me, she does not want me to be single. She told her sister to find me another wife. Absolutely. Same with my wife. Like, absolutely. She might say, I'm good. I don't want to, you might feel that way for the first few years or something if you really love me like that. But you still got needs. You still flesh and blood. You're not betraying me. I'm not here no more. You're not betraying me. you got needs. You still got sexual organs. You still got, tear ducts. You got needs, man. Knock it off. That's some childish, we looking for any reason to feel like we betrayed each other. Like I said, I never been with a virgin. Any woman, wife, baby mama, children, ex, whatever, they already been with somebody before me. They got many D's before me, before I came along. So if I'm just childish like that, like I can't stand the idea of her being with somebody else. I got the, I got the sloppy whatever the number was. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't the first. I never been no girl's first. You know what I'm saying? As far as I know, so I definitely ain't tripping. I can be your first, the one that really touched your heart. I can pop this cherry. But that physical one already been popped. Let me see if I can get to your heart. I bet you I can touch your heart. I bet you I can go deep in that other womb. I bet you I can make that other womb, climax on a regular basis, multiple. I bet you ain't no dude before me did that. So you just got to find your value. You got to find your dynamic. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. This thing is mental. All this is mental anyway. Heaven and hell is mental. It's a state of mind. So if you find somebody that mentally brings you that peace or that security, that comfort, that pleasure, whatever, that's what it's about. I don't care who you've been with before me. I mean, I care, but I don't really care because shit, life is short. Sometimes you want that experience. I want you to bump your head with somebody else before me. You know what I'm saying? I want you bumping your certain mistakes. I don't want you to make it with me. Make them before you get with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make mine before I get with you. So once we get together, like, okay, we already did that, and we know that this leads to that and all of that, so we good. I ain't no fairy tale romantic, just never move on after me. Shit. Hell no. That means it's like you're not gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna eat either. You're just not gonna eat. You're gonna starve yourself. You're gonna not eat, drink, or sleep if I pass away. Yeah, right. That means I'm a failure. If I didn't teach you and prepare you to survive me, then I'm a failure. The solution is reaching our black women first. I mean, it's solutions in every stage. Those that only are equipped or qualified to catch them early. Then it's like school teachers. You got some teachers that specialize in kindergarten or first grade teachers. They feel like they can't handle high school children or they can't be a college professor. You got some people that's college professors and say, I don't have the patience for children. But then you got some people that's just masters from K through 12 all the way to professors that can handle at any level, any situation. So that's what I try to be. A mechanic has to know how to restore and rebuild every part of a car. The wiring, the electrical system, the chassis, the brakes, the windshields, you know what I'm saying? If you're a real mechanic, you can do every stage. I can restore every stage. I can teach and train and build every stage. Why wouldn't you? If you love women, if you love family, you're gonna have to learn every grade and be a master and be able to teach and train in every stage, every grade level. It ain't nothing better worth doing. Telling you, man, life is worth living if you got a woman. If you actually know how to dedicate and not worship a woman, but guide and lead and restore and whatever a woman, man, that's it. That is beauty. That is the satisfaction of life. That's heaven. And then you get the benefit from what she produces. You do the work of cultivating her, and watering her and protecting her and detoxing her and taking the pests out the soil and all that. And if you can keep, her focus on you to where you actually able to start dropping seeds and seeding her and watering her, then she gonna produce for you. It ain't nothing more satisfying than that when she's producing for you. Now that's your garden. That's your garden. So now all of the various type of fruits and produce she producing for you because of the work that you did to make her fertile, you know what I'm saying, and inspire her to want to produce for you. So you're the God and she's the heaven. You're the God of heaven. She's heaven. Heaven don't rule God. God rules heaven. But heaven is God's environment. Heaven is God's pleasure. Heaven is God's garden. So the nature of a woman is she wants to be the garden for a God. She wants to produce for a God. She wants to be the pleasure of a God. She wants to please a God. And same as when we being ourselves, we are a God. We're not the God. You are all gods, children of the Most High. So when we're being a God, then we inspire them to want to be a heaven to us. So we don't look to each other for the same thing. God don't look to heaven for the same thing that heaven looks to God for. In the beginning, God created the heavens. Obviously that was beneficial. That was pleasing to the God. So from then on, from that beginning on until forever, now heaven is his environment. That heaven is where we all want to be. We all want to be in heaven. You know what I'm saying? In heaven. If you got a woman, you want to be in heaven, right? You don't just want to be around heaven. You want to be in heaven, right? She wants you to be in heaven also, and occupy her and inhabit her, so she can produce. She wants to produce for you, and she wants to reproduce you if you are God. So I done said enough. Went 6 or 7 minutes over. So if y'all don't mind, man, hit the thumbs up. We doing this every night, God willing. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all company. Love the fact that we can, share ideas. But I have to be out. Peace and blessings. Campaign Trail.